in the chicken coop. I'm about to give them this nice bowl of watermelon and a tomato from the garden and some herbs that I didn't use in dinner. So let me put this down first. So we're inside the coop. I am going to take you back for a minute and show you what we started with, and then we'll go through that process and then we'll come back to this spot right here. So just let's rewind for a second. Okay, the boys are working on taking some of the stuff out of the chicken coop, and I realized I don't think I've ever filmed what it looks like on the inside, so here is a little before. Yikes. I don't know if this is gonna work.
And then the one in front of it's going to go from there to that end. And that'll be the basis of our new floor, because this seems to be good.
At this point, I was really starting to doubt that this was going to be a good idea, but my amazing pops convinced me to stick with the plan, and it was going to work out in the end. So we took the measurements that we needed and headed to the hardware store to pick up the rest of the materials needed for the project. Now, I do want to also add that when we were pulling out some of the remaining pieces of wood that were left in there, we thought we might be able to use them, but they were covered in thousands of carpenter ants. This is just a little tidbit. I thought to go and run and get my phone. Most of them had crawled away, but there were thousands. It was honestly kind of eerie, but we kept our gloves on and pulled out the final remaining pieces, and thankfully it was a spring day, so it wasn't too hot outside. So we got these 2x4s, and we already had this plywood. We have thinner ones, and then this is like 3/4 inch, I think, for the floors. So it'll be a little bit more sturdy. And then these thinner ones are going to be for siding the back, because as you saw, possibly there's a lot of holes going on, and we got to keep the predators out. I'm kidding, she's not a predator, but you know. So I'll show you how we're laying these down inside. The chicken coop, this lighting sucks, to be honest, so. Oh gosh, Pumpkin boy. Oh my goodness, Pumpkin boy. I love you. Oh, I love you so much. Later that week, once we got other things that we needed, we finally were able to get the floor installed, and the hardest part was really just getting it level enough so that there wasn't a tilt, but thankfully the roof on here is actually really nice quality. We didn't have to mess with that, and there's no leaks. Wish I could say that I helped with this floor, but this was all you.
What?
I said I wish I could say that I helped with this floor, but this was really all you. Wow.
I have to put another piece on here because the floor is at such an angle, it's not going to be square.
Oh, I see, for the back wall.
I have to, yeah, I'm going to have to.
Okay, I see what you mean. So now what we're going to do is take these pieces of plywood and line the back wall, because you can see how much it's really falling apart. So just to reinforce that, once we took the thinner plywood and secured it to the back wall, it was finally time to install the hardware cloth, which actually ended up happening weeks later. It was a little bit of a time-consuming process just because there were so many staples needed, but I did my helping hand, which wasn't much, but it was at least using the wire cutters to go along the seams to attach it securely to the ceiling. So Russ and John are building this door.
Okay, we got the sides cut. This is 1/4 inch off from this side to that side, but I think that's fine.
Oh, I see. So there's no gap. Okay. We put in some table and the nesting boxes and then a ramp. It was so exciting to finally see the end result of this chicken coop, just because I feel like we've been working on it for so many months. And even though I grew up with chickens as a little girl, so it wasn't something necessarily new, but it still felt really exciting to finally be in a space of my own and have my own little flock of chickens.
See, look at that. They're just looking around. Let's show them inside, want to?
Wait, let's take the camera in there so I can
Okay. They're laying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course, she's older. She's older.
I know. We got locked in the chicken coop.
Is he coming?
Okay, so now we're back in the chicken coop, finished, and right now I'm standing in the run of my chicken coop, so it's kind of the outside structure. That is where they sleep at night, and we'll go in there in just a minute. So with this outside structure, we had someone build it for us, and it's great. It's beautiful, but they definitely built it a little bit bigger than I was expecting. Not necessarily the size. Yes, Adele, I hear you. Not necessarily the space. The space is fine, but just the structure of the beams, it's so much sturdier than I really needed it to be. I should probably film this inside because Miss Adele, who I've named after the singer, loves to just sing for me. Maybe she'll go back inside. Okay, there she goes. The girls are inside the coop right now. They actually hang out inside more than I expected them to because they have access, but it is very hot today and it is nice and shaded in there. So anyways, to show you a little bit of the run, see, we have a full-on roof. Again, a bit more than was necessary, but whatever, it's done now. So you can see how large these beams are, but I decided to line it with hardware cloth because after a lot of research, this is just much more efficient of keeping predators out, snakes out, and all of that. So here we did a little ramp. We had to add some more beams on the outside and also add in some more hardware cloth to keep anything from possibly crawling under. There's an old door that we actually sealed shut. In that first clip I showed you, the grass was very lush. I knew it was going to die. I prepared for this, and eventually I will cover the ground with something, but it's still fine for the time being. So you can see the outside of it. Goodness, I have so many kitty cats and chickens crying at me. So here's the outside of the chicken coop. You can see they have plenty of room. We only have 4 chickens right now, but we are going to be getting more, but not too many more because it's, you know, just my husband and I and soon to be baby, but that's plenty of eggs for us, to be honest with you. So this is what it looks like. It's incredibly sturdy. One thing we did is we took the hardware cloth down all the way to the base and then laid it flat, and then we've stapled it into the ground with these like large hook nails and then lined with brick. And again, this is to help keep predators out of digging up under. And so far so good. It's been like this for over a month and we haven't had any issue. Honestly, the only thing that digs at the edge is the chickens themselves. So what we did is we just attached it directly to the old building so that it was a kind of all-in-one structure. So now let's go inside the coop. Right, so this is the actual chicken coop, and I get into this side door here. It has all this beautiful shade. Those trees are all very healthy, so I'm not worried about anything falling on it. And it genuinely, even as hot as it is, it stays quite cool in here. So it's a little bit stiff because this building is very old and things have warped, but I just give a nice little tug and We have the girls that are currently in their nesting boxes. Is everybody laying at the same time? Okay, I'm hoping no cats try to run in, because if I close this door, it does get pretty dark in here. There is enough light peeking through, but not enough for me to show up on camera. So this door is securely closed, and in here is their coop area. I filled the ground with shavings. My amazing pup built this for me. It's like a little table, and my husband put together this nesting box, and we've actually just secured it to the wall, and that's where they lay their eggs every day. Like I said, we get about 4 eggs a day, 4 chickens. Works out great. And it looks like no one's laid yet, but I'm gonna leave them be, but I'll show you a quick, better tour. Inside of the coop, I did a lining of hardware cloth, and this is to keep predators out. I took it all the way up to the ceiling to keep things from coming in, and this is the door that closes. See if I can close it a little bit. See, it gets pretty dark in here, but it's light enough. I do a pretty thick bedding of shavings, but they don't spend too much time in here unless they're getting ready to lay, which I think she's about to lay. So I don't think I showed this in the clip, but we have the little ramp that goes down. To be honest, I don't really think they use it much. They just jump down. I'll give her some space, just like that. And they do fine. Oh, we have an egg. Thank you. I left you some little desserts out there. You want to go check it out? All right. I know you're about to lay. I'm going to leave you to lay. I'm not going to mess with you. I'm just going to take this egg. Thank you. So I keep an extra water in here for them just so that they have it. I don't know. They have plenty of water out there. And then we have this old ladder that we found on the property. We put that in for them to nest on at night. Carried the hardware cloth all the way to the edge. Then the back wall, you saw that we added more of this plywood so that, again, nothing could come through because it was just falling apart. The building is incredibly old. I would really love to paint this door, and I'm going to leave all of the natural wood, but just the door because it's already been clearly painted from the previous owner. And it's giving Barney, and I would love to kind of personalize it in some way. So if you have any ideas, please leave it in the comments of what I should paint this door. Maybe flowers, or maybe I should like paint a little phrase on it. I don't know, but we'll see. So that's that door. That's the run door. This is the one that I go in to check their food and water. I keep a little latch on this. I decided to come in because I am quite pregnant, and it is really hot out there, and if you've ever been pregnant before, you know how quickly you start to sweat and how out of breath you get. For me, getting chickens is not something new where I had to do a lot of research, because luckily for me, growing up as a little girl, my mom had chickens, and she's really like the chicken queen in my life. She knows everything about them, what breeds to get, what not to get. You know, safety precautions, all of those things. So thankfully I had her as a resource, because I was such a little girl when we got them, and I've been around them for so long. It's nothing new to take care of them or know what they need or what to look for if they're sick or anything like that. So it just feels really good, because this is the first time I've ever actually had my own in my own house, in my own yard. But anyways, I just wanted to say thank you for your patience. I have been, building and working on this chicken coop with a lot of help for months now. I think we originally started maybe really late February, first week of March. And originally I thought it's going to be done in a week. And it took so much longer than that, because I was dependent on other people for their help and their schedules, but I'm just really thankful that I did have that help. So we still want to add a lot more animals to the farm, but chickens is a great start. And now that I'm about to birth this baby, we're going to take a pause. I'm going to have the baby, and then we will readdress in a few months after we get in the routine of parenthood. So anyways, I just wanted to say thank you again for hanging out with me in today's video. feel free to follow along. We're going to have more things coming along with motherhood, I'm sure. Also, just farm life, nutrition, all the good things like that. And I can't wait to talk to you in the comments. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. Other than that, I will see you in the next video. I hope you're having a really great day. Bye.